Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your news cartridge for Monday, November 16th, 2015. The Assassin's Creed Syndicate PC requirements are out, so let's see if you're up to par. All that and more on today's news cartridge. Roll the brand new intro. For today's top story, I am overjoyed to tell you that Desert Bus for Hope took place this weekend and is still going. As of the writing of this story, over 159,000 US dollars have been raised for the Children's Play Hospital, and that amount continues to climb. This is the 9th annual Desert Bus for Charity event that was started by none other than performers Penn and Teller, who are most notably known for their stage magic and sleight of hand techniques, and not so much their video game development skills. Desert Bus is part of Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors, which was a game unreleased for the Sega CD oh so long ago. And it has some pretty quirky games on it, but most notably was Desert Bus, a game about driving from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada in real time. The whole time the bus is veering slightly to the right, which you have to continually adjust and steer to the left. You never steer to the right. If your bus runs off the road, it causes you to break down, of which then a tow truck comes and gets you and tows you back to Tucson, also in real time. Once you arrive at your destination of Las Vegas, you receive 1 point. You are then given the option to go back to Tucson, and upon the completion of that task, you receive 1 more point. And then, again, may repeat the trip. The maximum score is 99, which would actually take you just over 33 days to complete if you did it back to back and didn't stop. I hope you all caught the event, and if you didn't, there's always next year. It should still be going. Like I said, there's links to it in the description down below, but if you still want to donate, you can. There's a link to that too. Yeah, so for this next one, the internet is a beautiful place because of the data that it can produce. One of our favorite adult websites, Pornhub, experienced a dip in traffic on Tuesday morning. It's a little bit more complicated than that. So first they reported a spike in traffic around 3 a.m. and then between 6 a.m. and 3 p.m., traffic had dipped as much as 10%, which is very significant for a site like that experiences a ton of traffic. Only half of it's mine, guys. Don't be making fun of me that all of it's mine, okay? I can't do all of that. Half. Deal with it. Only half. 3 hours of normal traffic later, another dip occurred until about 9 p.m. Then it spiked as much as 15% between midnight and 4 a.m. So, what, pray tell, does this have to do with video games? Because that's what this show is about, right? Well, what happened on Tuesday? Yep, it's suspected that Fallout 4 is responsible for this correlation. And remember, that's all this is. Correlation is not causation. But that's one heck of a correlation. That's what she said. So there you have it. Gamers are happy playing with, or playing by themselves. They're happy playing by themselves. Now, go wash your hands because you just got done playing Fallout 4. You've got wasteland all over them. Gross. Gross. Our quick story for today is that only 6 days after launch, Blizzard's newest release, Starcraft II Legacy of the Void, the final installment of Starcraft II, has sold more than 1 million copies. Not too shabby for a game whose first chapter was released more than 5 years ago. Fans of my Twitch stream would know that I love StarCraft, and I've been playing the game for more than 12 years. I have not yet gotten Legacy of the Void, but I plan to as soon as possible, although I have seen tournament footage of it, and it looks amazing. I can't wait to play with those new Terran units. Leave a comment below if you're a StarCraft fan, and you maybe want to set up a game or two of StarCraft. I will kick your butt. Our final story for today is one that I have been watching like a hawk all year. Arguably will be one of the highlights of 2015 for me, regardless of whether or not everything goes well and everything is peachy keen, or everything goes wrong and the place burns to the ground. I, of course, am talking about Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and if you weren't aware, they were the Arkham Knight of last year. Many people, including myself, referring to Unity when Knight was released, when we saw this kind of train wreck that Batman turned out to be. I'll tell you that Batman was way worse, but that's all we were going to say about that for now. The PC requirements for Syndicate are out, and it actually gives me hope that Ubisoft has been paying attention and has learned from their mistakes of the past. For the minimum, they're calling for an i5 2400 or an AMD FX 6350. 6GB of RAM is a must. It's a little weird that they put "is a must" in there, but I'll take their word that they aren't doing anything like artificially inflating RAM like games in the past have done. Ghosts. What? Who said that? A GTX 660 or an AMD R9 270, both being 2GB GDDR5 graphics cards with Pixel Shader 5.0, 64-bit operating system, so Windows 7 or above, and about 50GB of disk space. For recommended, they call for an Intel i7 3770 or an AMD 8350 processor, 8GB of RAM, and then a GTX 760 4GB edition. But you probably don't want that because that's almost a $500 graphics card and a dual GPU. That you're probably going to want the other one that they recommend, which is a GTX 970 or an AMD R9 280X. Much, much, much more reasonable, way easier to find cards. Also the same 64-bit operating system and 50 gigs of disk space. So all in all, it seems pretty high, but not unreasonable. This game is out in just 3 days, so there isn't much longer to wait to see if we have 2 huge flubs this year. But I'm guessing the way that Ubisoft has been handling things until now, everything's going to be fine. Stay tuned for more, and if Syndicate as much as sneezes or coughs out of line, I'll be the first to know. Oh boy, that brings us to tomorrow's game releases, and there are a crap load of them. So here we go. For PC, we have Star Wars Battlefront, Game of Thrones Episode 6, The Ice Dragon, The Crew Wild Run, Fleet, World Ship Simulator, Circuit Breakers, and Utopia 9, A Volatile Vacation. For PlayStation 3, we have Game of Thrones Episode 6, The Ice Dragon, Monster High, New Ghoul in School, WRC5, and Borderlands Triple Pack. For PlayStation 4, we have Star Wars Battlefront, Game of Thrones Episode 6, The Ice Dragon, Sword Art Online, Lost Song, Let's Sing 2016, Deadpool, and The Crew Wild Run Edition. For PlayStation Vita, we have Sword Art Online, Lost Song. For Xbox 360, we have Game of Thrones Episode 6, The Ice Dragon, Monster High, New Ghoul in School, The Jackbox Party Pack, WRC5, and Borderlands Triple Pack. For Xbox One, we have Star Wars Battlefront, Game of Thrones Episode 6, The Ice Dragon, Deadpool, The Crew Wild Run Edition, and WRC5. For Nintendo Wii U, we have Monster High, New Ghoul in School. For Nintendo 3DS, we have Monster High, New Ghoul in School, Stella Glow, and Moko Moko Friends. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you tomorrow. And a religious person once asked me if I believe in evolution or creationism. I said evolution, because how else would Charmander become Charizard?